Yes, everybody. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Welcome to Matchday Morning. We are back, my friends. We are back. If anyone new to the channel, hope you are all well, obviously, and safe, because it is the West Ham Safety Network. But also, for any of our new subscribers, we've had loads over the summer, so thank you. What we do is a couple of hours before, well, a lot of hours before kickoff, is we do a live show outside from London Stadium, just to give you guys an idea of, you know, we can't be here. Apparently, it's a sellout today, says Harry in the chat. And so, just to give you an idea of, we can talk about the game. We're going to do this every game. At home, we do it live from the stadium. At away games, we'll do it live from the bottom bunker, hopefully. So it's something we do every week, every game, just to start the conversation for the match day. Obviously, West Ham will are playing LILLE in the BS Cup, and it's the start of the season, really, isn't it? It's the real countdown now. Obviously, we have the one game before the season opener against Sunderland, and we come back from the summer series, and I don't know what to expect today, really. I don't know what, in terms of West Ham, what do we expect in terms of our setup. I don't assume that it's going to be one of those situations where we have 10 players come on, 10 players off at half time. Where's the dog? But let's have a look. See, we've got some comments in the house already. Harry, good morning to you, rather. Hope you're well. So annoying. Stream has completely changed the work. Now I can't get Harry off the screen. There we go. Oh God. Okay, let me click that button, and then we can see them all appear on the screen. Stream, our platform has changed how they do everything. It's very annoying. Matthew, good morning to you. Be there later. Mark says, I'm not up there today, but stay safe. Enjoy, I've missed these vids. Well, we're back, mate. We are back. The season is back. The Premier League will be back tomorrow, next week. And it's exciting times. It's exciting times. It's that sort of really, it's this week that gets me excited for the Premier League, excited to be back with West Ham, and then give it a few weeks and the excitement goes, because we'll be shit. But it is the West Ham way. It's the way I've always been. I've always, you do your fantasy football league, you get all excited. This is, we're gonna a good cup run this year, maybe a little European push, who knows? And then reality hits. Obviously, we've still got the transfer window open for another 3 weeks. I would assume, again, I don't know, but there would be maybe today, maybe we might get an announcement about Mads. If not, I would imagine it'd be Monday, because the club don't tend to work on Sunday, although they do when they want to sign. I think Callum Wilson signed on the Sunday. Still trying to get it under the. No, it wasn't. Callum Wilson wasn't signed. Cole Peters was signed on the Sunday, wasn't it? Callum Wilson was signed on the Saturday, last Saturday, wasn't it? So, Al, hope you're well. I can't say I'm too excited about today, but next week, yes, me. I know what you mean. We'll get there. We'll get there slowly but surely. But I'm excited to be back. Excited. Although there's a few things that are different, you can tell. There's a lot of BrewDog. It's all BrewDog here, obviously, now, because of the partnership now. Looks like they put a few new facades up, to some of them a little bit. They put brand new ones up, and the rest look really grey, really yellow. So they've done a whole lot, really. But I get excited. I do get excited. That's just me. And I'm not apologetic. Yet there are some LILLE fans walking around already. Made in concerts through the summer. What's happened there? Happy Amaret, pretty stoked for this. Good. Darren, good morning to you. Kieran, good day. Barry, everyone's in the chat. Steve, come on. You irrelevant irons. I have a good feeling about today. Harry's there. Crocodile well. Good to see you. Cyber, hope you're well, mate. Good, good. All right, what we got here? Do you hope Palace win tomorrow? Not bothered about it, mate. Really don't care to be honest, Cyber. It's not my bag. Everyone's talking to me. That's lovely to see. High hopes for this team once a new number one. And it's something which I think some people like. I was doing a bit of looking at the stats. You know me, I love a stat. And obviously, this is really the most we've ever spent on a goalkeeper. Obs, because it's only been Fabian, was 8, isn't it? All the time, yeah. But also, what's quite interesting is I think he's the youngest goalkeeper we've bought. We've bought, not played. We've bought since something like Stephen Bywater when we bought him from Rochdale for £450,000. He was bought as a 19-year-old. So you could probably even take that out because he went into the academy originally. And I think the next one might be something like Perry Suckling or someone like that. So most of the guys, I think Rob Green was 26, technically, so he's a year older than Mads when he comes in. In terms of when he plays, he'll be the youngest goalkeeper that's played for us since, I think it's something like Peter Kurutz or someone like that. In terms of playing a game in the first team, in terms of playing a Premier League game, you're probably going to have to go down to maybe even Neil Finn, possibly. So this is a real. We talk about the plan, we talk about the project. This signing of goalkeeper is a plan. Is part of the project. Now, in theory, if Mads does stay with us until Fabianski age, we could have 15 years of him as our goalkeeper. Not saying we would do. I think players come and go and that, but that's sort of the trajectory. And even if you paid 17, 18 million pounds, that's just over £1 million a year if you stayed here 15 years. In terms of that. So that's a hell of an investment. And considering it's £3 million a spot, if he gets a couple of clean sheets, it pays for itself that year in terms of him. So I'm stoked about it. Because also it's Potter's man, clearly Potter's man. If it was if Victor did come in, clearly there may have been some supercomputer issues in terms of coming up from the supercomputer. He's got great stats, but he was half the price, and more risk because you're taking someone from another country. You haven't played that level of football, adapting to the life in London, adapting to life in the Premier League, adapting to the weather, adapting to the climate at the start of football. Mad comes in. In theory, he could play. A week of training if he's fit enough, match fit, and his pre-season, he could walk into the side for Sunderland, no shadow of doubt. And that's exactly what you want. We've actually bought a player, and we've got 2 players who have improved our starting 11. I still think we need to. I think Cole Walker-Peters has improved our squad, and to some extent, maybe you could see Callum Wilson improving the squad in terms of having he when fit, and again when fit, is a lethal striker. Now I just think we need at least one more spot, and that being the midfield spot. We need another midfielder who's going to improve our first 11, whether it's Jacob Ramsey, whether it's Matheus Fernandes, whether it was Rafael Nodiga. There's half a dozen names in the same way there was half a dozen names for the goalkeeper situation. Let's go for some more comments. Paul, Areola on thin ice. Yep, he is. But I think he needs that as well for himself. For me, he's been disastrous this whole pre-season. He's just looked so not with the races. And is it because he didn't have a number one potential breathing down his neck? He's relaxed. And maybe that's sort of his inner side's come out. Now, we know that Mads is coming in. We know that the goalkeeper coach likes him. He's recommended him. It's Potter's man. It's Tom McCauley's man. They spent, a record amount for a goalkeeper at West Ham. He's going to have to up his game if he wants any chance of staying, in the first team. What we got here, right. Let's get a few more comments. Stu, hope you're mate. Stu Collins in the chat. Obviously, we're doing the stuff for Lexi. That the what's name finished yesterday. The Trevor Brookings signed shirt raffle went yesterday. I've got to notify the winner, and then I need to get those sorted, and I'll put it straight in the when it comes through, man. Don't really worry about that. Got a good thing about this year, says Stephen. Potts and Callum are going to be gold. Callum Wilson's going to score the winner against Newcastle this season. And I said, don't be surprised if Newcastle try and get Mikel Antonio. I read reports today that they're looking to try and get Mikel Antonio. So very much a muchness. Big House says, you're right, it's exciting having a few weeks. Yeah, of course you'll be depressed, but that's us as a West Ham fan. Kieran, we got here, back at the bowl, Russell. I'm excited, Kieran. I'm excited about being back at the bowl. It's you know, I see all the guys I work with, I haven't seen for 2.5 months. I see Martin, I don't think Chris was, I think it was on holiday, but Ben, you know, we're going, I feel the club ambassadors, you know, see Grandad Brian Deere. You know, I don't know if they're all in today, but they might be. It's that level of excitement you get with a new season, and we know it's going to be, we know it'll end up being depressing because that's always happens. But I keep my bubble for the time being. What time's kick off? 3 p.m. my friend. 3 p.m. Jim. Phil Parks. He was a national record at the time. He was. Once we learn to shut up shop, we'll have goals in this team. Do you know what? That's always been my thing, Mark. You know, one of the big reasons why we were successful on the Moyes was we were keeping clean sheets and nicking the odd goal. When we started leaking the goals, then we were still scoring them, but they were where the wins were coming to draws or narrow defeat. You know, granted, I know Mads conceded something like the most goals in the Premier League, but it was at Premier League. It was the side that were relegated. We did bring in, as I said before, Fabianski at Swansea when they were bottom of the league. And, you know, you see not necessarily the outrage from Leicester fans, but the frustration from Leicester fans, which assumes to me that, you know, that they think it's undervalued in terms of what they're getting from. I think it is probably. And if we can tighten up that defence, you're right. This side's got goals in, you know, and we've got threat on both sides now. I think last year we were really right heavy. You know, Aaron and Bowen combining well. We were never nothing down the left, so it was easy to. Now we've got the options of left and right with Diop, and you know, I just think this year, I mean, Diop's going to be in my fantasy football league team because he's going to get some assists this year, and you know, he's going to whip those balls in. If Volker doesn't get it, Bowen will be on the right, will be behind on the back slip. So I just think that left side is a really important position for us, and we've got that. And hopefully we keep a Geg. So I want to keep a Geg. I think Kim and Diop will play really well. Because also, Geg loves a diag, and you know if you can do those diags to Wan-Bissaka, spread the play. There's more space in the middle. You know, I'm not a tactician, but that's how I can see it all happening. And all you got to do is get a real sort of all energy, you know, box to box midfielder there. To allow someone like Freddie Potts to do that CDM role, or Edson Alvarez, you know, they can interchange that in that competition that place, and that's good. You know, sometimes they may do a double pivot, they may do that, and you know, and that's all okay. You've got options to do that, but that's what I want us to have options and ways of doing things differently. As long as we're not relying on Bowen playing up front his own, that's all I don't want, you know, and hopefully that's not going to be the case because I just don't think that's his right position. Right, let's go through some more comments. Oh, sorry, I turned it off. Put it back on. Sorry. Any streams, you know, it is available on the club website for £5, £4.99, or if you're a season ticket holder. You might see him on the telly tomorrow. Says no. Okay, we'll keep an eye out. I'm not going to watch it. I only really enjoy watching West Ham, really, and you know, I don't tend to watch other teams, really. Just never have. Like what we've got, it's normal of Claire growing every time someone says, what? what time's kick off? We've said about a million times. Morning, Green. I hope you're well, mate. Nice to see you. Everyone's talking to each other. Number two, the £100 a week. Not good business. Yeah, I get that, but I don't think it's ever in the plan to sell Areola this season and lose Areola and Fabianski in the pre-season. I think what probably has seen us well in the goalkeeper position for the last few years is having two number one goalkeepers. And that makes a massive difference, I think, because you've got people who can come in and if there's illness, if there's injury, suspension, poor form, you can interchange them, and I like that. Ambrose, greetings from rainy Oz. Game on at midnight. Avoid the scores to watch the match. Good lad. Kieran's here as well. He's from Australia, so nicely. Why is the opportunity open today? Lots of people want tickets. No idea, mate. No idea. Are they your dulcet tones? Are they? No. So that's Martin. Martin Godwin's a dulcet tones. You see Martin, he's on the channel quite a lot when we do sort of special evenings, appreciation night. We'll get Martin back on during the summer, during the season a bit more. He does like going coming on. And I'll be spinning the tunes as per usual. When you hear bubbles, that's DJ Rutty B. These sort of sit midfield out green, I totally agree. Itching to leave already. Nice one. Happy in it. If you see on Twitter, I think it's the George in Bow. He's new landlord there. He's wants to make it into a West Ham pub. It's about a 10-minute walk, I think, from the stadium. He's got James Collins there today. I think it's a free event. So go if you are going, if you're not, and you fancy a beer with a load of West Ham fans, get down to. I think it's the George in Bow. The guy's called Bare Necessity on Twitter. He's the landlord. I'll probably be doing some quiz night or so on and so forth. Where did you get your mic from? This is just a Rode wireless go. You can buy them anywhere. When do you go to AFCON? Do you think some of your skulls start? Interesting point. I mean, for me, the natural one would be to put Ollie Skulls in, but we know in terms of how Potter likes to play his fullback, his wingback, he likes them to be more wingers rather than. I mean, there was a time I'm pretty sure he played Matomo as left wing back, or definitely one of the wingers. So I don't know, mate. It's not my problem yet. I'm gonna wait till Christmas. I'm not saying Ings was good business, but either we're not buying being number two. Yeah, I totally agree. Scores date and assists says again he's very pacey too. He is Barry indeed. I think Magic is gonna be on fire. I agree. Is it on YouTube? It's on the club website today, $4.99. Or you can, if you're a season ticket holder, you get it for free. Europe is going to smash it this season. I totally agree, James. I think you signing the goalkeeper announced out tomorrow. I don't know. Let's believe he was having his medical yesterday, so I imagine it'll be the media stuff. Could do it today. I mean, it could be announced on the pitch. Old school. I don't think he will be. But you never know, West Ham. I remember once when we signed Alex Song, and I came in and we had our pre-match meeting, and was basically told by the head of comms, right, we're signing Alex Song. Don't tell anyone. We're going to announce it on the pitch before kick-off. No other club knows we signed him. And it was really exciting. You sort of like huddled in, or it was like a blanket. It was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. So, and I don't think it will be announced on Sunday because I don't tend to work on the Sunday. Although there is, I think, the LILLE B match behind closed doors tomorrow. So there will be people at the club doing stuff. What we've got here, how close to first will we see? I think we'll see quite a lot. I think last game in the summer series, I think the back five was the back five who will start against Sunderland. The goalkeeper situation, interesting to see what happens. They'll throw Mad straight in. I think they probably will do, if he's fit. But yeah, I agree. I want to see that. It'd be interesting to see the starting 11. I think starting 11 will give you. I think it's pretty much what's going to be the starting 11 against Sunderland, unless we bring in the exception of the goalkeeper and with the exception of maybe the midfielder possibly as well. The only team less is the core position on that is us as Brentford. I agree. So uncertain it is. Right, I'm going for a few more comments, then we'll get to skedaddle. keep turning this thing on. I'm going to have to get my iPad out again, it'll be a lot easier. What was it? So I'm just going through everything at the moment. Everyone's talking about what's big up Rusty B. Thank you, Bowen Legacy. Cheers, Geezer. Cheers, Geezer. What's the pub called? Russ and Bow is the game is going today. I think it's called the George. I think, as I said, if you go onto Twitter, and I'm going to walk and talk. If you go onto Twitter and look for the guys use, I think we've retweeted some of his stuff talking about the game anyway. Beer looks quite reasonably priced as well, and James Collins will be there, and there's a chance to win some signed prints, and I think he's there until I think Collins is there until 1. I think he's there 11 till 1, or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's Bo. So I'm just going to try and move this so I can walk and talk and still see you lovely people. Yes, I think he's here till there, so keep an eye on him. Any Rusty rumours potentially coming in today? Nothing, I think, today. No more rumours. As I said, we've now reached, I think it's 201 players we've been linked to now, which is absolutely radio rental. Beats last year's by about, well, last year was 167. So we have smashed last year's record, which is crazy. And we've still 3 weeks to go the transfer window. Yeah, crazy. I tell you when we'll sign a load of people. We'll sign a load of people probably between the 26th and the 28th of August, because I'm going away to Paris for a couple of days with Flo and Joe. So that's always happens. Or maybe I should just stay in Lakeside. Every time, I think it was last year, every time I was in Lakeside, we signed a player. So there we go. Graham's 200. It is mental. You can go back and check out. I think it was Hammer's Headlines. Was it Hammer's Headlines? Yeah. Yesterday, where I showed the full list. Potter's got to get the backbone to sell players. Well, I don't think it's a case, Damien, of him not wanting to sell players. It's a case of I don't think clubs are coming in for players. That's the issue, and they're coming in with global answers. So, if you look at who could potentially go, I mean, I was reading an article yesterday about 97 million or 95 million pounds worth of players we're looking to sell, and there was, and it was like Agard. Now Agard, Roma put a bid in for him, but a loan deal. Basically, West Ham said no, 20 million or nothing. Now he's actually played really well over the summer series. I think his actually number has increased in terms of what we want for him. But I don't think the club are going to come in for him. Alvarez, he's just returned back from the Gold Cup, so lack of fitness there. So if anyone brings him in, he'll need a pre-season. So I think if he went, it probably won't be until January, in all honesty, unless a club like someone like Atletico comes in. If it does, I'd like to try and do a deal with Conor Gallagher there, just because I just think he would be really good for what we need. Emerson Lazio deal looks like it's not going to happen at the moment because Lazio got no money, so they've got to sell before they buy. And so much so that Sarri's moved, Tavares more to a left back rather than a left wing back in order to fit your system. So they've got no money at the moment. Who else? Souček. I don't think anyone's going to spend the money we want Souček. JWP. There was talk of potentially maybe some deal with Southampton and Fernandez, but I think Southampton just want the money. Obviously, Will's still in charge there as well for West Ham fans. So I think there's just no. I just don't think Mavropanos has been. Roma had a very small interest, but again, no, Roma hasn't got their money either. So you look at it, and it's not for the want to try him. Pretty much anyone, they're open to offers for anyone, with the exception of Bowen and Wan-Bissaka. That's what we're led to believe. So, and we still got to move. We still have to do a bit of squad management as well, because we still got to move people around, put people out on loan as well. The likes of, Lewis Orford. He'll be going on loan, I'm pretty sure. George is still injured, so I don't think he'll go out on loan in the summer. He might go out on loan in January potentially, or be integrated into the first team. So it's a tricky, it's a balancing act, and really, I mean, if we sold a lot of those players earlier on, and then there's still the question mark about Lucas Paqueta. Obviously there was reports yesterday suggesting that Paqueta to Man City for money plus Grealish. I mean, in the same way that, if you added, I don't know, like £30 million plus Grealish, you've got cover for a position in Jack if he's fit, and then you've got a situation where you've got another £30 million to potentially spend on on that midfielder role, and on potentially on a striker as well. Damien's in the chat, and I know he likes Patricia Gay for Mets. I'm the same. So that's 15 million quid. Although I can't see a situation where we would agree to that really. Any changes at the stadium you've noticed? Yes, Brewdog. A lot of Brewdog stands now. Obviously, they've signed an official partnership with West Ham as being the beer providers of West Ham, of the stadium. So there's a lot of Brewdog stands here. They put a few more canvas things up there. However, they haven't put all of them. So they, like at the end of term when the teachers take all the stuff down from school, all the stuff down on the wall, and where you'd have like pictures up there, you'd have like the sun has got to them. That's like the stadium as well. It needs to all be done really, but hey ho. What we got here? Jack's wages. Yeah, I mean that would be an issue. That would be an issue. And it may be there's some subsidy made by Man City, to facilitate this deal. And again, it's I just probably not the extent of losing Paqueta, but to me, Jack Grealish just seemed to be such a West Ham player, Yeah, but I wouldn't want to. I mean, I think we've got a hell of a. I think Lucas Paqueta this season's had a hell of a year. Just got that feeling. Have they closed the Have they closed the gap on the big screen on the right to look at Oven Boots, mate? Taking advice, catching up. Cornet just hanging about. Yeah, Cornet as well. You're right. Yeah, I mean, Genoa were keen on him. Obviously, had a good loan spell. They're keen on him again. I think basically they want him on loan. They want to spend any money on him. So, Spirits would rather do a deal for McAtee. Great shout. Yeah, you're probably right. McAtee could come in and do a good deal. Would you take 30 million plus cash for McAtee? No. Paqueta. No. Start again. Would you take 30 million plus McAtee for Paqueta? I'd be tempted. I think. Maybe. Does Anton still come on much? Yeah, Anton's still around. Anton's in his house. Actually, you probably hopefully see more of him end of next week onwards. So maybe after the Sunderland game, you'll see him back on. He's getting his house redone, his garage and stuff. So he'll be back with a new setup, and he's going to have a very similar setup to what I've got as well in terms of microphones and whatnot. So keep an eye on that. So Anton's production levels will be increased a lot, and he's got to have a decent Wi-Fi as well. Actually, he's got it plumbed in. I don't want to have it plumbed in, so that's good. How's his dad? His dad's all right. He was on the Big Jim was on the stream. He was in the chat yesterday. Big Jim's okay. Obviously, he still has his illness, still has his cancer. But we hopefully we'll try and get Big Jim on more often. Because it's good for him to take his mind off it by doing something less depressing than West Ham. I don't think is that possible. But yeah, we love Big Jim, and probably next week you'll probably see another episode of Brothers in Crossed Arms with Tommy B and Dubai Budden and myself. We're trying. It's always tricky because Simon's fucking all over the place in the world. Me and Tom are sort of stuck in Hornchurch and Bluewater. So yeah, keep the great content, and those are classy glasses. Yeah, I don't usually wear my glasses when I'm on stream actually, but I do wear glasses all the time. But on stream, I don't need to do them, and also the glare from the lights in the Bud and Bunker. Also, next week, probably Monday, we should have an X-My Hammer 11 interview on the channel. I should be recording it tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Does he get a release clause? I don't think he does now. No, I think he had a similar thing. I want to say it would have been the last year before the thing came in for the what's it called, before the court, for the hearing, for the start of that whole proceeding, because that was the 85 million that Man City were after. Villa Grealish, of course. City Grealish, maybe not. Yeah, but maybe, you know, an arm round him. You know, that's the one thing I've really noticed in terms of a step change is everyone seems really fucking happy at West Ham. Not just like the players, but the staff. You know, everyone seems quite buoyant. I just made a word up. And as I said, you know, first day of pre-season, all the staff were brought into a room with all the players at Rush Green, and Potter gave a presentation. And my contact there said, I felt like I was 10 feet fucking tall when I left that room. I could have taken on the world and won. And that Potter factor, something about him, you know, in terms of how he talks to players, how he communicates with players, how he clearly wants some players and not other players, that type of thing. You know, he wants to set up a feeling, a team bond, and I love all that. I just think it gives us that extra, and I've always said that team spirit will save you, will get you six to 8 points in the season. When the chips are down, that team spirit will drag you through. And obviously, we jokingly had the Moyes MOT test, and I think Potter has a similar test in terms of the cuts of character. What do you think to Gay? I mean, look, he's 15 million quid. He's 18. He's mates with Diouf, and he's fast. Had a breakout season for Metz. It's a bit of a punt, I'll be honest, but I think that's the type of deal that Potter's good at, or Potter's team are good at. Those sort of under the radar deals. You know, I mean, as I said, under Potter's stewardship. Now, I'm not saying Potter did it, but under his stewardship, he paid $3 million for Mitoma, who was, you know, on the verge of a £90 million move to the Saudi Pro League last January. And that's what we're good at. And, you know, I think even look at, I mean, Diouf, 20 million. I think the game's moved on a little bit from that now in terms of pricing. 20 million for Diouf. The way he's starting, you could easily sell him. And I'm saying we could easily sell him in 3-4 years' time for twice, 3 times that. And again, you know, you got to think someone like Mads. He's only 25. He spent between 60 and 18 million pounds on him. That's double your money. You know, I think Kelleher went for 18, wasn't it? 18 million to Brentford with only half a season. You know, with a few first team games. Mads played the whole last season. I think we'll have to just go with the ride and see what happens. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. As I said, I'll be back later on. So I'm just pressing the button. Sorry, I'll be back later on to hopefully do a review show after the game, walk about, have a chat, get your views on the game, and then let's see what happens. So take care. Well, don't forget to like. Always helps. Like, if you're not subscribed, please do. Comment afterwards. Put a little emoji in the chat. Helps the channel engagement. All that good stuff. Not just for our channel, but every other West Ham channel out there. Help us all out. You know, in this time, you know, there's a lot of content needs to be produced, lots of news. So it really does help when you sort of give it a little like or comment. Makes us feel like we've been listened to a little bit. But anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. See you soon. See you later, motherfuckers.